Hi, everybody. Gabe Jenkins back with you. Going to talk really quickly about circles because circles are going to be necessary for the next assignment that we do. We learned in the last video a lot about the snap settings down here at the bottom, and we talked about kind of what they're useful for. So, like dynamic input. I think for today, make sure that that is clicked on, right? The one about what are your snap settings? I have my snap settings shown here. I kind of just always leave it on. So if you're going to try to do any of the assignments kind of going forward, I would probably usually make sure that those snap settings are on, but you'll see what works for you. All right. So but today we're going to talk about circles, and it might sound crazy to say this. I know it sounds a little crazy to me to say this, but there's lots of different kinds of circles, and you might just be thinking a circle is a circle, Mr. Jenkins. That is stupid. Of course, it's a circle. But there's lots of different things about circles that you need to kind of think about when you're trying to make the exact right circle that you're trying to make in a technical drawing, right? In order to think about like a circle, it needs to be centered in the exact spot you want it to be centered. It needs to have the exact right diameter or radius that you want it to have. Sometimes you know those things. Sometimes you know exactly where the center point of that circle is and how big the diameter is. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes all you know is that this circle needs to start here and it needs to connect to something over there, right? You might only know the radius of something and not the diameter, although you can obviously quickly go back and forth between those two. You might find a circle. You might need to draw a circle that is tangent to something else. So there's just a lot of different kinds of circles. We're going to talk about the most common ones today, and I'm going to save some of the more complex ones for you in a little bit. Okay, so. Just starting, like again, we learned that all the basic drawing tools are up here in the top left of your screen of your user interface. And so if you hover over circle, it's going to show you that that's what a circle drawing does. But right now, if you click the bottom, the drop-down menu, you're going to see there's lots of different kinds of circles. There's a circle that you want to draw in AutoCAD if you know the center point and the radius of that circle. What if you know the center point and you know the diameter? Well, you would use this one. What about if you just know 2 points that are going to be on that circle and you want AutoCAD to figure out what is the circle that connects those 2 points? Or what is the circle that connects those 3 points? Okay? We're going to start off with kind of a very basic one if you know the center point and a radius. And I'm going to click on that. And so you can see, because I have dynamic input on, almost every single tool you use in AutoCAD, as soon as you click the tool, it's going to ask you for more information about how you want to proceed. So it's asking you, do you want to set the center point using our Cartesian coordinates, the XY coordinates? I don't. I'm just going to click today. So as soon as I click and just let go of the click once, it's going to start making a circle. So I can kind of move in or out, however far I want to go. And it's because I have dynamic input on, it's asking me in the dialog box right there, how big do you want the radius of this circle to be? Okay. Let's just say I want the radius to be 50. So if I type in 50 and enter, it draws me a circle with a radius of 50. Okay. Cool. Now, what if I want to draw another circle right using the same center point? If I click diameter again, look what happens when I hover over that circle. I have quadrant tracking on, so it shows me where the top point is, where the right point is. But as soon as I hover over this, it also shows me where the center point is. So I hover over the center. If I want to make 2 circles with the same center point, they're called concentric circles. I can click there, and let's say this one I want to have a radius of 25 instead of 50. So now I got that, okay? So that's if you know the center point and you know the radius. If you know the center point and the diameter, let's do that. Let's click another one. This one's going to be over here instead. If I wanted to line it up with this, I can hover over the center point. Right? And move out with it. That lets me line those 2 things up. So if I click here, it's going to line up. And say I want what am I doing here? I'm doing diameter. So if I hit diameter, diameter of the circle, we'll specify diameter. What did we make the last one? I can't even remember. Let's make the diameter here 100. Ah, that's right. We made the radius here 50. The diameter here is 100. That's why they're both the same size, right? Because 2 times the radius is the diameter. All right. So that's how you make a circle, specify the radius or specify the diameter depending upon which kind of circle you made. Let's see how 2-point circle works. So if I want to just say I want to connect this point right here with that point right there, if I go to circle and go on 2-point circle and click that point, it just figures out where to make that circle. Okay, how big it is, where to put the center point, it just figures it out for you. Wow, this is starting to look really kind of cute. Let's gonna make one more with a diameter here of 50. Make it so now it looks symmetrical. Looks nice now. All right. Certain joy in just symmetry. So that's it. I don't think there's anything else that you really need to know at this point about circles. Certainly nothing else you need to know in order to complete AutoCAD drawing number 2. So good luck to you.